loyal blade and champion of the festival. Both your deeds will ever be praised in song. Now, the vow will be honored, and my Lord Brother's soul will return, so that he may be my consort. At long last you are returned. Yield the path forward to us. To I, Nicola, and my promised consort, Radahn. Promise you a 1,000-year voyage guided by compassion. I promise you a 1,000-year voyage guided by compassion.
Hi, it's me, Umbek. I'm using my actual voice for this part, mostly because it just would have taken too long to type out. This isn't going to be a review of Shadow of the Erdtree or anything. It's mostly just how I feel after finishing it. I spent some time just wandering around the Land of Shadow after defeating Radahn and Miquella, sitting with those feelings of withdrawal that I'm sure many of you can relate to after finishing an amazing video game. And during that time, I realized something. If any of you have been actively following this series of videos, you may recall that at the very beginning of the very first episode, I mentioned that I actually hadn't played Elden Ring at all since finishing my first playthrough over 2 years ago now. And I wasn't exaggerating when I said that. I genuinely did not put a single second of time into this game after finishing it for the first time. And honestly, the reason for that is that by the time I got to the end of the base game, I was completely burnt out on it. See, I'm the type of person who feels the need to explore every single corner of every single area when I'm playing a game. I don't know why, and I honestly don't know how to turn that off. I just always want to experience everything a game has to offer. And in retrospect, I think Elden Ring might have been a bit too big to try to do that with in one single playthrough. And of course, it also didn't help that the game's final act is sort of just a gauntlet of all the hardest bosses. Near the end of my first playthrough, I eventually got to a point where all I had left to do was beat Mohg, Malekith, Placidusax, Godfrey, Radagon, and the Elden Beast. And after having just recently spent 3 agonizing days to beat Malenia, I just didn't have it in me for every single remaining boss to be this big project that I had to learn. So I brute forced my way through the final act using the Mimic Tier and every overpowered weapon I could find, which ultimately was a pretty unsatisfying way to finish the game. It left me with a very bittersweet feeling because by the time I got to the end, I honestly wasn't even having fun anymore. I was just exhausted and wanted it to be over. And when it finally was, I put the game down for over 2 years until this DLC came out. After so much time apart from Elden Ring, there was obviously a learning curve as I remembered how to play the game, but everything also felt new and fresh and exciting. I remembered the joy of exploration in this beautiful, breathtaking world that From Software has created. My self-imposed rules of having, or at least trying, to use every new item I found made each new acquisition really exciting, and I found thrill in forcing myself to play in ways I wasn't used to, or in learning brand new weapons on the fly. Ultimately, all I'm really trying to say is that Shadow of the Erdtree wasn't just great. It wasn't even just that it wildly exceeded all of my expectations. What it really did was, it helped me rediscover my lost love for this game, and I'm really glad for that. Now, all of that being said, I am actually going to go back to Sekiro content now, if anyone cares. I want to basically exhaust all of my ideas for videos with that game and play through all of the cool looking mods I haven't yet tried before I finally move on from it for good. And then after that, who knows? If you actually made it through to this point of the video, and if you've been following this series at all, then thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.